Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Libby. I created this channel to share my learnings and things I enjoy in hopes to inspire others and build a high vibrational community. So today I want to talk about when everyone disagrees with you, staying true to yourself. So I want to share a really pivotal moment in my life, and maybe it'll resonate with you and inspire you to follow your heart and dreams, even though everyone might say you're crazy. So when I lived in Minnesota, I was married and I was very nestled into a life kind of around my marriage. All of our friends were around that circle, my parents included. Everyone was a huge fan of who I was with. And I thought I was happy, but I realized that I was getting love and being fulfilled everywhere outside my relationship. So my friendships and deep connections outside my relationship were what were fueling me. And then my relationship really wasn't bad. It just wasn't soul growing, connecting time together that I need and want. And so what really woke me up was when I met two friends at work that were married, unhappy marriages, and they noticed some signs before I was having children that they said, hey, you might want to start looking into and talking about that. Do you really want to have kids with this person? Do you really want to stay married to this person? And I had never asked myself that. I always felt that something was off, but I always thought that was, maybe my anxiety. So I also met someone that really lit me up energetically, and it was such a rush to be around that feeling. And that's what really woke me up to, wow, I can feel like that around people. That is really wild. And that's what I want to be around. And I realized more and more that my most intimate relationship was not that. So what was really hard was waking up to, okay, I'm not happy in this. And now I have to start exploring and telling people. And I have another video that talks about things to try before you get divorced. And I tried everything to try to make it work. Once I had these realizations, we went to counseling. We tried a 40-day love test or love challenge, and nothing worked. And I found myself wearing a bathrobe almost the entire week of Christmas with glitter everywhere. I was drinking whiskey and stuff was just everywhere, and it was a disaster. And it came down to my husband at the time asking me, will you come to my family's Christmas? And I just couldn't. I had made all these ornaments for each person that really were sentimental to that person, and I couldn't even go to bring it to them because I was so out of the relationship. So that's what started me telling people, hey, this is done. So it started with his folks. That was hard. Then telling my parents. My dad cried, and he said, I'm going to tell anybody you're with from this moment forward that you're not going to love them forever. And that was his reaction at the time. He's very supportive now, thank goodness. And my parents just didn't understand. They thought I was happy. And I realized I was making everyone else happy around me. Everyone was happy for me, but I wasn't happy for me. So my mom too, really sad reaction. And they told me I'm making a huge mistake. My grandparents cried. My whole family was like, we're never going to see this guy again, who we adopted into our family. And why? What was so bad that happened? And it was like, it's just not where it's at. And so I started doing things because it wasn't so bad. It wasn't an abusive situation. I stayed in the spare bedroom and I started sleeping there. And then I thought, okay, it's going to be like this. I no longer want to sleep by him, so this is done. So how does it feel to go get my own place? It was my first place that I've had on my own. And I remember walking into the store and I said, that huge L-shaped couch and that king bed and that headboard, and that huge narcissistic mirror. I got all these things that I'm like, that's it. And I walked in, bam, bam, bam. And then it was delivered to my place. And that oasis, that feeling I had was so uplifting. There were really hard nights along the way. At the time I mentioned I was drinking, and before my furniture came, I was in my new apartment, and I had a blow-up mattress that I had borrowed from my parents, and I had a little whiskey next to my bed, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and the air mattress was completely deflated, and the whiskey had got knocked over. So I'm sitting there on the floor, and it reeks like whiskey, and I just felt like such a bum. And at the time, everyone's crying around me. I created all this pain from this selfish thing that I was doing. And the next day I got into a counseling session, and it was eye-opening. It was, hey, why did you ever think that this guy was going to love you the way you needed to be loved? And this is all part of waking up and speaking your truth. I woke up to a truth that I didn't realize, and I couldn't look away from it. And the counselor said, if you were to stay here, you would end up on all different kind of drugs to try to make this work. It's not true to your soul. And the way that we connected, he completely read exactly how I felt. Once everything kind of got finalized, I've heard other people who have had a lot longer time where the families don't understand the breakup, or whatever it is you're going through. It may take a long time. My family was able to adjust, over about 3 months, and then it's been 10 years since my divorce, and it'll still come up where my mom will say, I just still don't understand why you got divorced. And that's a diss to kind of everything in me, but that's okay. She doesn't have to fully understand, but she knows that I am so much happier than I was in that moment. And so after finalizing everything was so easy. It was easy to get the divorce papers. It was, hey, you keep this stuff. I made this decision, so keep our dog. Keep this. That part wasn't easy, the dog. But just keep this, and I'll walk away. And then I kind of thought I would live in this apartment, and then I got the call to move to Hawaii. And then I drove across the United States, shipped my car out to Hawaii. And that drive from Minnesota to LA was absolutely incredible. I did stops along the way, and I just felt so alive and so true to myself. And I had all my synchronicities, and all these things have happened. And since living here, I just find this love within myself that's deeper and deeper. There are hard times, and there are things people don't understand, and like my parents, continue to try to understand this journey that I'm on. And sometimes we don't fully understand each other's journeys, and that's okay. And it's finding ways to forgive each other for things we may have said that may have made someone else doubt their journey. That's just where it was at the time. But when you stay true to your soul and what feels right to you, that's what matters most of all. So you can live a life where you don't have to be on these antidepressants and things to do something that doesn't speak to you, to your core. I hope that this inspired you in some way. I just wanted to share it in case it might resonate with someone. I don't condone quick divorces or anything like that. Please try everything you can so that you can walk away knowing you did everything you could to try to make something work. It is so beautiful to make something work. In my case, it was the best decision to walk away. Maybe this applies to you in a different way. It's something that you want to do, but you're scared because your family says no. One of my biggest things, my family always told me, don't sing. Nobody likes your voice. It's terrible. You have a terrible singing voice. They didn't say no one likes my voice, but they said they would laugh when I sing, and I want to be a singer. I want to be a rapper, and that sounds ridiculous to them, but I just want to keep going with it. And it's just the creative calling that is for my journey, and no one has to understand it. So please share if this resonates with you. Please share anything that may have inspired you to be on your journey. And just remember that we're all works in progress. There's no levels of who's higher and lower. We're all on our own independent journeys. And as Nipsey Hussle said, the highest human act is to inspire. And I hope that you are inspired today.